very harmful to me, for my self-image and who I thought I was and so on and so forth. So I was lost in the sauce for a very long time. It took me a minute to come back. And there were several times that I didn't want to exist and so on and so forth due to the pressures that I had. Because of the fact that I was gay and I had a son, and my family all, but I made it through that because of him once again. So with that being said, I finally did seek counseling that got me to a point in life where I was able to extremely just be in love with myself. I love myself more than I love myself more than man, I can't even tell you. Who's that one guy that loves himself a lot that they talk so much? Kanye. I'm a Kanye type of person. Yes. So, that's my biggest thing at the end of the day is counseling. I think that going to therapy is very beneficial. Speaking to someone outside of, your box and that doesn't really know anything about you, but they're going to figure it out, and then you're going to know that they figured it out, so you can't go anywhere. You have to confront that. That's the mirror. So that's what I would say. That's a hope for me.
I think something to piggyback off her there is the one thing I did, the main thing I've gotten over these last 5 or 6 years is that most people, even if no matter how you identify, heterosexual, LGBT, most people want validation, right? It's a natural thing, right? When your son was 2 and he colored something, what do you do? Look, mommy, I colored. He wanted that clap, right? Yeah. It's a natural human thing to want validation. There's nothing wrong with that. So what I can give my LGBT clients is that I want my grandmother to say it's okay to be gay. I want them to love me. I want them when I walk in the house not look at me like I'm a disappointment. They want that validation, and I understand that. But what I try to work with people, trying to get them to get to a place of, but what if you never get it?
I think that's the problem.
Yeah, you strive so much to want that validation. I want my mom, I want my dad, I want my grandma, I want my church to get me and to understand me. But sometimes you will never get that. So I planted the question of, do you deserve it? Hell yeah, you deserve it. But the question is, what if you never get it? Are you going to stop your growth, stop your life because you never get that particular? Yeah, it hurts because it's your mother. Yeah, it hurts because it's your church. But baby, life has to go on. You have to keep growing. So do you deserve it? Yes. Do you want it? Yes. But what if you never get it? Then what? You have to start planning the then what phase of your life. And that's where therapy comes in. Whether it's a therapist, whether it's a pastoral counseling, whatever type of counseling you need, you have to get something, because sometimes you will never get your grandmother or your pastor or your auntie to say, baby, being a lesbian is okay. Sometimes you just won't hear it, right? So then you have to decide, okay, then what? I'm not going to get it, then what? I have to move on. Spiritually, I have to move on mentally, emotionally. I have to, or I'm going to be 50 still saying, my mama never got it. My mama never loved me. And I think personally for me, I came to a spot where fuck it. Right, I'm not going to get it from certain people, and if I don't kind of push past this, I'm going to be 60 still in the same spot mentally, emotionally, because I just couldn't get it. So that's why I try to, as a therapist, try to get people to realize, do you deserve it? Yes. Will you ever get it? Probably not.
Right.
But in our culture, and in some of our families, sometimes people just don't get it, and they won't. And I don't have the energy to change their mind about it.
Right.
But what I have found out about that for me was when I was trying to force that upon people, I wasn't getting it for sure. And at that time, I didn't even love myself to maybe receive it. I don't know if that even qualifies. But once I did say screw it, and I was like, hey, I'm off for myself, I did see that some people will come around because it's like, how can you not love me when I love myself times 10? I'm really not worried about you or your opinions at this point. So it's kind of like, you can be there and I can be whoever I am to you, your cousin, your grandchild, or whatever the case may be, or it doesn't have to be anything. And then sometimes people are more accepting if,
And I went through a phase, I came out when I was 23, so from 23 to 25, 26, I went through a phase where it was rebellious, because I felt like I was so suppressed for years, because I was a deacon in the church and I was on a praise team. I couldn't be me, so when I finally was able to, I went to the other extreme, right? Yeah. I'm me, and I was I'm gay t-shirt. Yeah. You go accept me. I just went to this totally extreme. And I had to realize like your grandma would say, baby, just be yourself.
Yeah.
And I can't, like you said, I was totally like, okay, I'm working too much trying to get you to see me. Mark, just live life, right? And once I kind of just start living life, people who still come around, that's okay, because I got 10 more extra people who love me because of.
Exactly.
Not that in spite of love.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think that's the thing that's missing is we all want validation. You know, like we all want to feel love. We want to feel that everybody is by us. And you can't worry about what the next person thinks. You have to just live your truth and live what's best for you. And I hate when people try to put you in a category. Just you are who you are. Yes, it's a community, LGBTQ community, but it's different subcategories under that. And so people just don't understand that. That's lack of education. So that's why we're here to educate. So sorry about the ones who just joining. We had some technical difficulties, so we're just getting back on live, but Instagram has been going, so we do apologize. But basically to kind of go over what we're doing, we're talking to Drakkar here. He came out, but he realized when he was younger, in 6 years old, he had a lot of feelings of suicidal thoughts. Brandi came out when she got a little older. Arielle knew when she was younger. Faith came out later on in life, and she has a son. Your son is
He'll be 10.
He'll be 10. Man, and my son are like ace one twins. But but we have children. They love each other. We love each other. Tracye's my ace one coon, and she. You knew at a young age. We haven't let you talk at all, Tracye. Come on.
That's okay.
You been
No, but I had a feeling at a young age that, I like girls. My first crush was on a girl. I was in 2nd grade. I'll never forget it because I was just like, man, I really like her. She had like this long, beautiful, like natural hair. She had these beautiful brown eyes. And so I decided I was going to write her a note. Now, you got to remember, 2nd grade, you're learning how to write. You can't really spell for shit. But I thought I was like, roses are red, violets are blue. You have a crush, and I bet you don't know who. And then, but here's the thing. I thought I was real slick with it. So I took the note, and, I took it, and I hid it, and I had it in my pocket. So we all went to like a restroom break. So then I begged my teacher. I was like, teacher, I have a headache. Can I go sit back in the room? So bet. That was my end. I put the note in the desk. Now, like I said, this is 2nd grade. You learning how to write. Guess what? Your teacher know your handwriting. So she get back to the class. She see the note. She showed it to the teacher, and I'm like, oh man, the teacher gonna know it's me. She gonna snitch. But the teacher never said anything. But that was when I knew that I really just I was attracted to the same sex. And as I grew older, I grew up in the church, and it was one of those things where I was like, just take it away. It was one of those things I would pray, take it away. And eventually my prayers went from take it away to, okay, let your will be done. It's one of the things where I never, I had the attraction, but it wasn't necessarily extremely sexual. It was just, I was attracted to that sex, period. It wasn't sexual. I didn't know what sex was. Hell, I didn't learn what sex was until I was in the 7th grade and we did anatomy. And I was like, oh, that going that, oh. So it was rough coming out. When I was 17, I really thought my family should have known because I was always like a little tomboy. But it was rough, but I had to learn, like I said, at the beginning, to love myself. And I didn't really come into my own until I went off to college and I was able to be on my own and, be completely me versus trying to, be in a little shell of myself. And after that, I had suicidal thoughts, but I never had the guts. I'm really going to say guts, but I never had the urge to act on it. It was like, what would it be like to not be here? Not necessarily, I don't want to be here. I always had a stronger mind in that asset, in that sense, to where I never acted on it, but I thought about the possibility of what it could be if I did. And in those times, I love to write poetry, so I would write my poetry, and that was my outlet. And my advice to people who are out there is find your outlet. Exactly. It can be singing, it could be writing, it could be screaming at the top of a parking lot garage. Find what your outlet is, so then that way you can let go of the negative energy, so you can receive positivity.
Good good. I like that. I mean, your outlet was poetry.
Yeah.
And you do write some good poetry. We have Mrs. Poetry Spot. So, I mean, that my outlet is music. I love listening to music. I can relate to music. No matter how I'm feeling, if I turn on some music, it will brighten me up. I mean, that's just, I'm not a writer, but I love music. Or looking at art. I love art too. So going to the art gallery, and some people don't know that. That's one thing most people don't know about me. I love going to art galleries. Where else? I had to give you the long turn over here. What's your outlet? Now, because you're a professional, so you know professional which ways and what coping skills, but besides medication, what other kind of coping skills and talking to a counselor do you recommend? Walking, exercises, any examples like that?
Yeah, I think, everyone's different depending on kind of what's going on. Definitely, I would recommend counseling. I know counseling isn't for everybody, or some people don't feel like they need it. But it's kind of what do you enjoy doing, right? A lot of times that is what brings you the most joy, right? Mm-hmm. So outside of going to therapy or seeing a psychiatrist if you need medicine, the other things you can do to kind of cope or kind of do some self-care is kind of find out what you enjoy, whether it's poetry, whether it's listening to music, mm-hmm. whether it's twerking, like everything. So kind of like, just whatever kind of makes you happy, kind of what can kind of give you some relief.
Right, absolutely. I like that. Now, one thing that hasn't brought to our attention is in the LGBT community, they don't know, a lot of healthcare providers don't accept them. And so, or they don't feel comfortable talking to their healthcare provider about, hey, I'm in the community, or I'm, even applications now, when you go to the physician, they ask you, what's your sex preference? Most people don't want to be honest because they're still afraid of what people will say about them or how their doctor will react. So do you have any resources or recommendations of what will be a proper step of how to find a healthcare provider just to make sure everything is in good health to understand you?
Yeah, I think, if you have insurance, most insurances, whether it's, Blue Cross, whatever you have, mm-hmm. you can always go to their website and look and see who you're in network with and all that type of stuff. But my thing, do your homework, do your research. This is your health, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're looking for a primary physician and you have a list of people you're in network with, call and say, but the first thing is you have to be comfortable with you, right? Mm-hmm. And so at that point, that's not the doctor's fault.
Right.
Like, you have to be comfortable enough to say, hey, I am trans. Mm-hmm. I am a lesbian. I am, so you can call those doctor's offices and say, hey, I'm looking for a new primary care provider. I am mm-hmm. this, would that be a problem, or is your doctor comfortable treating people of this, Mm-hmm. So a lot of times they probably say yes. You have to kind of go and see. But first, I feel like you have to be comfortable enough to say it out loud.
Right.
Because you can't expect a provider to be comfortable treating when you're not comfortable talking about it.
What about the people who are like, I know y'all mentioned it's okay to not know who you are. Mm-hmm. What if you're in that stage where it's just like, I don't really know who I am, but I still need a therapist?
Okay, so that was more like the medical piece, like you went to a medical doctor, mm-hmm. Kind of being honest about, basically, because if you go to a medical doctor, you need to kind of be open about your sexual practices. Mm-hmm. So even if you don't know how you identify, you know who you have sex with, right? Right. So that's different. Like, going to your medical provider, being comfortable enough to say, I have anal sex, mm-hmm. or I have oral sex, mm-hmm. or I have multiple partners, mm-hmm. so the doctor can know how to treat you, but you have to be comfortable enough to ask. Right. So that part's different. Now, if I'm trying to seek a therapist, it's being honest about, hey, I kind of don't know how I identify, or I kind of don't know yet, and finding a therapist who's comfortable with you not knowing. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that just takes time to find the right one. Of course. Like we were saying earlier offline, after a couple of sessions, you kind of tell like, it's not gonna work. You're kind of biased. Right. You're kind of I kind of feel something like you're not comfortable if I do talk about sex or if I do talk about my experiences. So you just kind of have to it's like really trial and error when it comes to therapy. Right. Now sometimes you'll get recommendations from people like, hey, I see such and such. You should try that person. Right. That's different. But a lot of times when you never seen a therapist and you kind of going for the first time, you kind of don't know until you kind of try it. It's like trial and error, and to kind of get in. And I always recommend with people, ask your therapist questions. Like, you know, you pay your money, you give them your time. Yeah, so, hey, I don't know how to identify, or I'm kind of in this space, you know, as my therapist, are you okay discussing this? You know, and you see their reaction. You can tell when people are uncomfortable, like, you know, I don't want to talk about, you know, you being trained. Like, you can kind of tell.
Right.
So you, like, take some initiative. This is your therapy session.
Right, shop around.
It's not just about them.
It took me
Yeah.
14 doctors plus to find the one doctor that I found therapist-wise. So
Yeah.
to find it takes a minute.
It takes a minute for
And
some people, yeah.
some of them understand, some of them don't. So just
And that's exactly why, another reason why Mascot Panel was created, because we want to be the glue. So that's discouraging. You know, you had your family, you know, you were a young age, you were vulnerable. So, you know, you had more help with finding. Some people don't have support at all. They don't know. So if you're going through it, just last week somebody reached out to us, is not even part of the community, reached out and said, hey, it's discouraging. I'm new here. I can't find a therapist or anyone to treat me, and everybody just want to talk. I need coping skills right now. She's like, I'm very spiritual based, but I don't even want to tell me to read the scripture or write this down.
No,
I need someone to give me
sometimes
coping skills right now. So we were able to connect her with one of our resources and say, hey, she needs resources right now. They contacted her the same day, got her in, and got her some homework and some stuff that, you know, and she feels a lot better. So that's what, you know, 14 plus, that's the start. I wouldn't shut down. Like,
it's discouraging, but at the same time, I mean, I kept trying to find what was the right fit. And personally, you know, the person that I went with gave me a whole bunch of coping skills, how to breathe, techniques and whatnot, how to just calm myself internally, so that I didn't always combust
so
on
did you get
everybody in my
diagnosed with
situation.
anything? Sorry to interrupt you.
Well, I was diagnosed at a young age with bipolar disorder and like a slew of other side things, but at the same time, I was put on medication, years of therapy, come to find out that I'm not bipolar.
All right.
I was just misdiagnosed. But I struggled a lot with that. But that being the reason why I went to therapy, started to go to therapy, gave me the coping skills to some of the things that I use today and how I cope with in general, because life's hard.
So since we talking about, like, you know, you went 14 times, and you talk about babies, you talk about you going to counseling. Basically, people of color, we don't want to go to counseling, even if we do have insurance, even if we do go somewhere that's pro bono or that is free, we don't want to go. So I want to address that really quick, that mental health, just like physical health, is a spectrum of things, right? So one thing I always hear is, I ain't crazy, I ain't taking no pills, I ain't, you know, but what I try to explain to people, mental health is a spectrum. So a lot of people feel just because they're not hearing voices, just because they're not on the extreme of mental health, that they don't need to talk to nobody. You know, just like physical health, you have a runny nose, that's a low spectrum. You have cancer, that's an extreme degree of physical health. Just like mental health, you have a low spectrum of, I have some situational depression because I lost my job. It's nothing chronic, I don't need medicine, I just kind of go through a situational depression, sadness, because I lost my job. Then you have the other spectrum, a different degree of, I have chronic depression, I could win the lottery tonight and still be fucking sad. Like, it's a chronic imbalance, chemical imbalance, right? It's a spectrum. So people feel like just because they're not on this extreme, I don't need to talk to nobody. I don't need to get help. And so, like, don't believe that myth. You know, even if it's a situational thing, even if you go to therapy just 2 times, get some coping skills to handle that situational depression before that situational depression end up being long term. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of times we don't, especially people of color, don't want to get mental health services because of the stigma, the shame. I ain't crazy. So, no, baby, you just human.
Right.
All right, you're human.
Life is hard.
Life is hard.
Exactly.
So encouraging people to, you know, get help. You're not weak, especially men. You're not weak. Especially, you know, people of color. Yes, God is good, but God gives you resources. Go to therapy, and therapy is just not the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely not shaming the Bible,
absolutely.
but you know what I'm saying. Like, there's more to life than that one thing.
Right.
Sometimes you need different resources.
Absolutely. I love it. Yes, Faith, I want to talk to you again. The entrepreneur, wow, jack of all trades. So when you came out, I mean, I know we talked about it before, but you kind of like were just like, I'm 18 now, I'm grown, deal with it.
Yeah, kinda, and not really.
Okay.
I tried to do like the slow thing. Like I more or less was on the down low. Can you say that? And I think people were just kind of like peeping and they knew what was going on, and then I more or less was like, okay, I was with that girl. So, that's kind of how it happened for me. And then I tried to be soft with it per se by, still being girly. I'm not really girly. I've never been girly. But just as far as wearing the type of clothes that I did wear at the time and stuff like that. And then I kind of just got tired of that and let all of it go. And then I was just kind of like deal with it.
Because it's like a facade, right?
Yeah, it really is. Like, it was like, it was frustrating. I still felt like I was like, I wasn't really out, you know what I mean? It was just,
Couldn't be yourself.
I was living for everybody else, I didn't want to go to, like, holiday parties, Thanksgiving, Christmas. I didn't want to show up. I didn't want no problems. I didn't want to hear nobody's mouth.
Right. So,
it just made me distant. I was just really in the shell.
And my family was always like, where's your girlfriend?
Mm-hmm.
Why
Oh,
did you
don't
bring
you
your
hate
girlfriend?
that?
I was
Yeah.
like,
I know a nice
She's
boy
in the
down the street, right?
She's waiting in the car. Yeah, okay, I need y'all all to do me a favor right now. Grab your phones, go to Facebook, and share Mask Off Panel's live story right now.
Okay.
Because I did not tag y'all, but I did have y'all tagged, but we had some difficulties. But that's gonna get y'all put in here.
Both of them? Just two of them?
You can do this one right here.
The
That's
last
the one we're on now.
Okay.
Thank y'all. Keep joining, keep sharing. We appreciate you. Yes, keep coming in. Let's talk about Resource Center. You did send me the LGBTQ focus. It focuses on HIV prevention, provides HIV and STI testing, mental health services, trans services. Also has a program called United Black Element program that focuses on Black and people of color, gay or men who have sex with men, Black trans ages 18 to 29, providing education and empowerment. So I know you've done a lot of work with the AIDS Foundation. I have found that people that live their truth, whether they have a disease mentally or they have a disease that can get HIV, AIDS, they are the most friendliest, loving people. Like, they embrace who they are. They're like not ashamed. Like, yeah, I'm this, but that doesn't define them.
Exactly.
And I think in the community, when you're coming out, we just have to have that same type of thing, like same type of interest as, hey, this doesn't define me. This doesn't make who I am. I'm still the same person. Like, who I sleep with doesn't matter. And I think that's the misconception here with a lot of people is they think that you're gonna be a different person, and so maybe I might be a little bit more cocky, and I have the right to be. If I feel like, I've been beat down and torn down and suppressed all these years, then when you finally be comfortable with who you are and you live your truth, you have a little bit more pep in your step. You have a little walk when you talk. So that's just what I have found is people such as yourselves love and embrace who you are. You don't hide it. You're not boastful. And I think that's the misconception with a lot of people and the stigma is that you think just because somebody does something, they either are wanting to the extreme or the down low. There's no in between. So either people are just saying, hey, I'm gay, look at me, or you like, and I think the people in the middle who are comfortable with who they are, you don't have to be. So when somebody meets you, it really doesn't matter if you're gay or not. You're still Drakkar. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter. And if they find out one of those characteristics about you, that's okay. If they don't, and a lot of people in the community, they have questions, but they don't want to come up and ask you. They might assume, might have heard somebody told them in the church or something like, hey, so and so is this way, but no one wants to really come and confront you. But if someone do come and confront you, what kind of experience or coping skills or what would be some good statements for people that say, hey, if somebody comes to them aggressive, or if somebody comes to them and say, hey,
No violence, I'm joking. Let me say this. And this is a personal Markel's belief, not mask off, my belief. People have the right to live the way they want.
Life is too short.
If they want to, quote unquote, be discreet, not tell nobody, you don't know their journey, you don't know what they've been through. If they choose not to ever tell anybody, that's their choice. That is my belief. That's their belief. They never want to tell anybody that they're a lesbian, that they're gay, that they're kind of bisexual, that's their choice. So that's just my personal belief, right? That's their prerogative. They don't have to. I think sometimes we feel like people have to, because first of all, we're nosy as humans, and we just gotta know the tea. Like, it's, so that's people don't have to. But I feel like, if people come to you, you don't have to tell them anything. Right? And that doesn't mean you're ashamed. That doesn't mean it's your personal life. Now, if you feel like first I don't know you to discuss my personal business, you know what I'm saying? But if it's someone you do know, if it's a friend, if it's a classmate, and they coming at you, you tell what you're comfortable with telling. Like, there's no law that says you have to tell. Right. I tell because that's just my personality. I live out loud. That's just me. But that doesn't mean, because Markel says out loud and I wear the rainbow flag, if you don't, you're ashamed. No, that is who I am. Right? I think people have the right to choose how they express, how they identify, how they move in this world. That's their choice. And I'm not gonna say the car, just because you don't do it like I do it, you ain't proud. You ain't a proud black gay man. Who am I to tell him who? That's and I think we have a problem doing that. Since y'all are out eating, y'all you should be like, who am I to say? That's how you should operate. So that's my personal belief. You share what you want to share, and you tell what you want to tell, right? And if you don't feel comfortable sharing XYZ, then you don't
have to, right?
That's how.
Tracye, what you think? So from where you started to where you are now, like when you started telling people, like you shy anyway, you loud tone anyway. So how did that work from where you began to where you are now?
What it ended up boiling down to is that I realized that I've always been Tracye. Like there wasn't anything different. So even when I came out to my parents, I didn't change. I was still the same goofy, loving, caring, drama filled, because I'm just a big old drama queen. Like I'm still that same person. They just knew that I like women. That was it. That's the only thing that changed. And I think that made it easier for me when I went out into the world, because I already really knew who I was. I was still the same person. I was just struggling with having to tell other people what my preference was. Outside of that, I'd always been me, the tomboy. I'm gonna play softball. I'm a goof off. I'm a laugh. I'm a joke. It was the same person. It never changed. So that's how my journey ended up going. Because when I came out, I was in college. I was just myself. I was able to be more of myself because I could dress in the way that I wanted to. I didn't have to wear no tight old booty shorts. It never really worked good. Booty tight old pants that looked like they was painted on. Like I was actually able to be comfortable to just be completely me.
Is that because you were like detached from like home? You felt like going to college, you felt like you could really be yourself?
Yeah, just going on. I didn't know anybody. It was just I could just be me. Like being at home, like it was more of a because I knew my parents didn't like the fact that I would have been gay. It was me suppressing myself to respect their household in a sense, and it wasn't me realizing that I don't know. I think that's where it was. It was just I felt like I needed to respect their household, and then me coming out, and then they're not really being accepting of it. Like I kind of went back in the closet to my family, but I was still the same person. Like I never changed. Like fundamentally, who I was at my core never changed.
What about when you went back home, like during breaks and stuff like that?
During breaks, it wasn't as bad. They still weren't accepting in the beginning, but it was one of those things where I was still myself. Like I said, to my core, I was still who I was. So even though when I went back home, my mom decided to ask me, how are you doing, with, your sexuality. I'm like, well, I actually never stopped liking girls. It never really changed. I just focused on school. It's like a
So that's what I'm trying to see. Were you not necessarily code switching between college and home? Like, would you have to go back to like suppressing who you are when you go back home?
I didn't. So when I went back home for the first break, like I told myself, if my parents ask me, I'm going to tell them the truth. And so then when they asked me, that's when I told them, hey, I'm actually still gay. I kind of, it didn't really change. My mom sent me to counseling, and I think what it boiled down to is like back then I thought it was because she wanted to get rid of the gay. But now looking back on it as an adult, I really think that she wanted to make sure that I was mentally okay. And so even though it still was like a background premise in the Bible, like the approach, like I think at the end of the day, she really just wanted my mental to be okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And that's good that she was able to put how, because not everybody experiences that. Some people, parents are not able to put how they feel, their beliefs aside, and take up the role and say, hey, I just need to be a mother right now. I don't need to be a counselor. I don't need to be a spiritual warrior for you right now. I just need, the interview you ever have, I just need to be here for you however you need me to be. And I think that's a misconception. A lot of people, they feel like they know what's best for you. But sometimes you just need someone to listen to, or you need someone to give you something right now. You don't need to say, hey, let's read these scriptures or memorize this. And they're saying there's nothing wrong with that. We were all raised in the church, so there's nothing wrong with that. And we all are very strong in our spiritual beliefs. We talk about it all the time. Hey, we know this was a blessing. This happened to us. We got this promotion, or we got this new adventure going. It's a blessing. So we give praise is due. And at the same time, that doesn't discourage us to keep living. You know what I'm saying? So, and I do like that T.D. Jakes, he did this interview and he talked about, being in the community being in the church, and how it's just different than it used to be. You used to be a deacon.
So was I thinking?
Come on, Deacon Markis.
Yeah, years ago.
You were used to be a deacon, and you were really involved, and you still are involved in the church, but you were just, at that time, I'm sure it was spiritual warfare between you.
Yeah, and I think the reality is I was doing the best that I thought I knew. I was doing the best I could, right? Kind of like what he said, like just the whole back and forth struggle with God love me, but he don't love me. Am I gonna die? I'm gonna go to hell. I don't want to be gay. Lord, take it away, Jesus. I tried to date a girl for a year in college. That was a mess. Just back and forth, and it was part of the journey. Part of the journey. I did the best I could.
Yeah, do what you had. I mean, and that's what all of us. We all have different experiences, but we all do the best we could what we have, and we still a learning thing. You're going to forever learn, no matter how old you are and different things. And I think this was just a platform to talk about the LGBTQ, especially after the Jussie Smollett stuff. People started reaching out to us. It was actually brought to our attention from our viewers and said, hey, y'all need to talk about this. Needs to be talked about. Because that definitely shed a bad light on the LGBT community. People was walking around like,
Yeah, right.
You ain't you one of them? Yeah. Like, woo! Like, what are we talking about? But it's just that was another way, I think, and we still don't know the truth. Unfortunately, we still don't know the truth of what happened to that story. We just know the charges were dropped. But if and he didn't pay the money back, so he didn't show up for court, pay the money back, and but to be honest, I think that if he did what they said he did, it had to be something mentally there. Whether it's, hey, I want people to see me. We already love the fact that he's Jussie Smollett. We love him on Empire. We support him. We love his music. We love his personality, even though that's not technically him. But to do things to get, like, hey, it's me recognition, to get the clout, and to get somebody to validate you. I think that was when we're talking about validation. People just need to feel validated, and so sometimes they're willing to go to the extreme to feel validation, or you suppress it and you're never, 15, 16 years, you're walking around and not true to you, because you're not comfortable with yourself. And I think the main thing that we've all talked about is just being comfortable with whoever you are.
You need to know yourself.
You need to know yourself.
To really understand who you are. I always ask myself every day, like, who am I? So that way I can, live my life the way I want to, and the way that, I want people to respect me. Mm-hmm. So I think it's very important to just sit in your truth. And I feel like you will get the most out of life when you live like that.
Brandi, do you have any 2 cents to add? Any coping skills or thought processes you can tell people that might be, hey, in their later years deciding, hey, we know people who's been married and then decide, hey, I'm part of the community now. You're like, hey, we embrace you. So what do you have?
It's just be you. If it takes getting away from your family, and I don't want to encourage anybody to like cut ties with their family. But if it takes that, it takes that. I mean, I haven't spoke to my dad in over 4 years, and that was even before I came out as, he doesn't know that I'm a lesbian, but I mean, he's never gonna know because there's not a relationship there. And feeling, I feel better cutting that off than keeping it and trying to force something that's, somebody else is not working on. So, I mean, it's a two-sided thing. If somebody's not going to do the work and you're doing all the work, it's still, you're not going to ever meet in the middle.
And that's with anything, any relationship, any friendship. We talk about it all the time. You have to have people. Loyal people is hard to find, and in this family, and friends, in your household. I mean, it's just hard to find loyal individuals. And I can't truly say about this group, we're very loyal to each other. We're very honest to each other. When one of us is wrong, we don't mind correcting each other and saying, "Hey, man, you were wrong for that." When we're right and we have something going on, we don't mind praising each other and saying, "Hey, how can I help you with what you have going on?" So we're very giving individuals, and we have a good time, So, Arielle, what would you say from, growing up, going through, being sent to over 14 different healthcare providers to find what's best for you, being on medication, because you've had a lot. You've been on medication, now you're currently off medication, you found out what's worked for you, you're misdiagnosed. I mean, you got a lot going on down there.
Yeah.
What was
So what's your advice?
My last piece of advice is, personally, if you need to talk to somebody, find somebody who understands you and that you're on the same page with. It'll be more beneficial for both of y'all in the long run. Honestly, find your paths to continue your outlets to try to figure out how to basically get through your day and whatnot. Next step to growth. Talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Just talking is the biggest thing. People don't be afraid to talk to somebody. People will listen to you.
Even if it's just a friend.
Even if it's just a friend, just try to talk to. Find your coping mechanisms and find a way to persevere, because suicide. Life goes on. Life is a struggle. Always find the light at the end of the tunnel. It's there. It might be hard to see it, but you'll find it. Trust and believe. Take time. We'll get all the wounds.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. Hey, what type of 2 cents you get?
Y'all know where I'm coming from with it. Y'all look in the mirror, man. Whatever it takes, whatever works for you, pretty much. But definitely do it. If you've never done it. I was actually talking to a client of mine actually today, and she's in her 40s, and she was saying, I finally decided that I'm gonna look in the mirror. I've never done it. Literally admitted I've never done it, and this is I'm living in my truth, and I couldn't be more happy for her. Couldn't be more happy for her. So don't let time pass you by, because life is short. So definitely do what you gotta do to live for yourself, because it's you. It's all about you.
Absolutely. Good. Tracye.
I mean, it's around the same thing, but learn to be comfortable with who you are. And once you find that comfortability, life moves forward. But also, kind of time back on what, you said, Key, we're really loyal to one another. But the way you find those type of people is being that person. Like, what you put out into the world is what you attract back to you every single time, and that is absolutely true. So if you're out there and you're being a negative Nancy, and you're saying that no one will ever love me, and no one will ever accept my sexuality, well, guess what? That's what you're putting out to the universe, and that's what's coming back to you. But when you say, hey, I love myself, I'm gonna find people that love me for who I am, irregardless. Like, I am not my sexuality. I am not with whom I have sex with. I've never been that. I am Tracye, I am Faye, I am Air, I am Brandi. I cannot pronounce your name. Sorry. I am Drakkar. Yeah, I am Drakkar. Like that. Like, that's who you are, and then you're not your sexuality. You never will be your sexuality. That is a part of you, but that's not who you are.
Yeah.
And once you find out who you are and you walk in that, then everything falls into place.
Right. Doors will start opening. You start seeing stuff differently. You like, oh, I've been learning to this. It's like how to go at the end of the rainbow. Like, like that. it's like awakening. You know, when you start living in our conscious mind and being more aware of what's going on right now. I can't live for the future. I can't live for the past. All I can live is right now.
Day by day.
And I know Faith and I, we listen to Ed Cartoli read the book. He teaches us all the time about, you know, just being more aware of what's going on, enjoying. We try to enjoy every moment we have together because we never know we'll have that moment again. So why look for next time we're meeting right now, and I'm enjoying all y'all right now. Markels, what final words do you have?
Just real quick, a couple of key points. Like everyone was saying, if you need help, don't be ashamed. Whether it's counseling or you need psychiatric medication. And if you are nervous or scared about it, take a friend with you. You know, get the help you need. There's no shame to it. Also, I always have to plug this in. A lot of times, especially with our LGBT community, because we are depressed and because we don't know how to love ourselves, and it's all this baggage of the past and trauma. You know, a lot of people get kicked out of their house. They're homeless at 14 because they came out. Because they don't know how to cope. Because they don't know how to cope with that, they turn to unsafe sex practices, right? Whether you are LGBT or straight, a lot of times we cope with sex. Sex feels good, right? So what I found out, a lot of my people in my community, we cope with sex, and a lot of times it's unsafe sex. So the takeaway is, you know, get tested for HIV, get tested for STIs or STDs. And I know people are watching from different parts of the state or maybe in Arkansas. You know, you can always Google about HIV testing in your area.
Sometimes it's free too.
Yeah, a lot of times it's free, depending on where you live. So that's a takeaway that, you know, if you get help, you know, get the counseling therapy, and if you are having unsafe sex, please get tested. And if you are already HIV positive, make sure you are getting your care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. We're about to wrap this series up. Thank y'all so much for sharing your experience. You'll see Markel's back again. For the next series, we're going to talk about friends and family. I know we've touched on it a little bit to start tonight, but, you know, there's a lot of people out here that still, you know, live in the twilight zone, as I call it. But, you know, nowadays, we're in 2019. People are going to do what they're going to do regardless. So I'd rather live my truth for me. And I did hear this. Somebody said, would you rather... and I think it was Nipsey. Sorry, R.I.P. Nipsey. I think it was him. He said, would you rather battle with yourself and be accepted with the world, or would you rather battle with the world and be accepted with yourself? And I'd rather be accepted in myself.
Mm-hmm.
Forget, when I die, I came to this world by myself, I'm gonna live by myself. And I've always had a rebellious attitude. That's our Aquarius that we are. You know, we just, you know, we're rebellious. You tell us to touch the stove. We're like, why? Like, let me feel like how hot it is myself. That's just our personality. But also, we learn through our own experience. And so, I can't share anyone else's story. No one else can share my story. All I can do is take my mask off and be transparent, and which all of you have done today. So I appreciate that. And we can't worry about who might not like what we're saying, or how the intake, how they take it, because at the end of the day, it goes back on them. It's not on us. And so I think that if people in the community start realizing that no matter what anybody think about you, if they haven't confirmed it, if they need confirmation, pick up the phone, email, text, and I'm sure people will let you know when they stand. If it's meant for you to know, like my grandma said, if it's meant for you to know, you'll know now anyway. You already know. So we just wanted to do this to, like I said, it was brought to our attention after the Jesse Smollett and stuff that's continued to go on with the LGBT community. And we want to make people more aware and educate them. Thank you for everyone who has joined. Again, I want to say shout out to our sponsors. Universal Language Podcast, hosted by our own Skirt with the Dirt, 92.3. Lesbians and located in Conway, Arkansas. Go check them out. They have great clothing, a great owner, and she's very loving and caring. And Heavy Concepts, which is Faith, and she's a realtor. So let them know again, everybody how they can reach you, and then we'll get you reach and we'll get done. How can they reach you, Faith?
I'm real simple. Faith Moore, spelled with 2 O's, or Heavy Concepts.
So they can order your apparel online.
Yes.
They can donate.
They can do everything online. I even have my information how you can contact me online.
And realtor? You know, you're big brothers. How can they contact you with?
Once again, just look me up on Facebook,
Alright.
Facebook.
Hey, more,
Look
you
me up
better
on
get it.
Facebook, Zillow, realtor.com. I'm all on it.
You want to make
All of
All right, Tracye, how can they contact you? They want to know more about your experience and get in contact with you. You know, you are an IT person. Thank you again.
No problem. You can just find me on Facebook, I guess, Tracye Breaux, TracyeBreaux. Send me a message. I'll try to respond. I'm not really big on social media, so if I don't respond, message one of these guys and say, hey, I'm trying to get in contact with Tracye. And then they'll tell me and I got you.
I will hunt her down.
There we go.
Hunt her down. Arielle, tell us about how we can get in contact with you. Any last thing?
You can go on Facebook, Arielle, Arielle, Spraggins, SPRAGGINS, or you can really message her. I'm not really big on social media either, but I'm usually around my phone at all times. So, yeah.
Brandi, the graphic designer, the website queen, how can we contact you?
Got some firehouse around.
Makeup artist. She's
Makeup
artist.
Zoom in.
One thing about it is my friends, we are very business oriented. We are hustlers, we are jack of all trades. If we don't know how to do it, we get somebody. We network like no other. This group is always networking. Okay, go ahead.
It's just Brandi Bailey on Facebook. Like the drink, except for Brandy's with an I. Some weird, I don't know. Yeah, just Brandi Bailey on Facebook. Or B.A. Bailey at, I think 09 is on Instagram. Or Brandy's Makeup Bag on Instagram.
Okay, and we'll post it in the comments after the show. Drakkar, how do we contact you? And you have a podcast.
I do have a
So,
podcast.
yeah, so we didn't want to forget about your podcast.
I do have a podcast. I am still working on it now, ironing out a lot of details, but I'll be sharing my information with you, Markisa. Hopefully you can help me grow it.
Absolutely.
And I am on Instagram, Drakkar with 4 A's. And,
4 A's, I love it.
It was nice to meet everybody.
Absolutely.
Yes, it is.
And Markels, you are helping us, the mascot panel. We appreciate you. The LGBTQ, they have any questions, you help us get resources. So they need to contact you. And congratulations, I want to say that out loud. Congratulations on your new position. What do you do in your new position? Yeah.
I'm the new mental health therapist at a local university in Dallas. Y'all need to know where y'all nosy.
They like a flashlight.
Yeah. But no, thank you. So you can just shoot me a message on Facebook. It's Mark MARK space Marky MARKY. So Marky. Or you can email me at frmj2002@yahoo. Again, frmj2002@yahoo.
Good. Well, and if you need to contact Mascot Panel, you can reach us by 817-264-7250. You can reach us by Facebook. You can email us, mascotpanel@gmail.com, or you can visit our website, which Brandi helps manage and run. She runs www.mascotpanel.com. She is building our website. We appreciate you, everything that you do, our flyers. I was looking good in my Mascot Panel hat. You did my little flyer. And I appreciate it. So we appreciate everyone for tuning in. Definitely like, share, tag someone that you think might need to hear this, or you think they might need some resources. We definitely don't have a problem with getting you connected to the right resources. That's what Mascot Panel is all about. And again, Amazon Smile. If you have Amazon, go support us. We are a charity on Smile Amazon. Look for us. Link us in. It doesn't cost anything, but anytime you purchase through Amazon, like me every week, then we start getting some charity dollars for that. So definitely, and you can donate at our website, www.mascotpanel.com, or you can cash app us at #mascotpanel. And if you would like to be part of the show, or if you have anyone that you think we need to talk any topics, definitely reach out to us. We definitely don't mind. We'll be back next second Tuesday of the month, same place, same time. We have it together now on our cameras, so we will definitely make sure next time. But thank y'all so much for your patience. We love y'all. Everybody say goodbye. Goodbye. Love, peace, and joy.
And so.
And so.